No, that's the most.
Little big step for me.
Yes, but you're still young, right?
Yeah, yes, 52 years.
Yeah. First marriage.
Just married, yes.
Wow. Wow. Hey, Pinaki.
Hello, how are you?
Yes, not too bad.
Good,
How
good,
about
good.
you? Life
Good.
over there?
It's good. Just building teams. That's all we do.
Okay. Well, that's like all of us. All of
So
us
yes,
out
some
here.
some
Oh,
people
today was so busy here in the office. We had like 20 plus people coming over, like three different groups, and like Calvin and Ben did amazing presentation, as well as Jensen, like help us a lot to handle those people. And actually, it was a good result. Like all happy after listening many presentation, and the good things of it, we had a special guest. GC was sharing two session in
Hmm.
different group, and that was really good to understand the potential actually. And I'm not sure, Calvin, have you been on one of them where GC was sharing?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay,
Uh,
would you mind to maybe implement into your presentation, just make some notes, because he was mentioning like actually the opportunity through M3, like with a connection when we do the seed round, for example, or the
Yeah, it's covered.
incubation process, people don't really get it. Like it's everybody looking for opportunities out there, but basically with M3 we have the connections all over, so it's much easier to follow the giants, because all the startup where we putting any fund, like we means M3, but why I'm saying we, because it's a DAO, right? So
Exactly.
where we putting any funds, it's already been they made a due diligence, like connecting the VCs, the venture capitalists, because if the big fund going into this new blue chip project is doesn't mean 100% guarantee, but the giants are know where the fund should go. So yeah, if you don't mind, just highlight some of the part of this one as well.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Basically,
So is
all
zero
right, I think we
five?
should start.
Yeah, is 05? Just I'll hand the mic to you. So please,
Great, great, great.
Calvin,
Okay,
just
nice.
go ahead.
Good evening to everyone. I mean, like, nice to see people coming from all around the globe. This is why we are in Web3. We are connecting people, even though we are from each of us is from across the world. Okay. So today's topic is going to cover a little bit on the crypto history and on M3 as well. And on the second hand, I'll be covering the Mars protocol and also the Utopia. So when we start, I'll be covering mainly on the crypto history right now. So we are all familiar with the Bitcoin, right? Okay. So why is Bitcoin even existed? Because this is fighting against, we call it deflation, right? So we all know that Bitcoin, there's only a total of 21 million supply, right? So when did it started? It started year 2009. So back in those days, the difficulty and the challenges for you to get Bitcoin is very low, it's very easy. But right now, as time goes by to 2024, it's harder and harder for you to get Bitcoin. The amount of Bitcoin that you can mine is getting lesser and lesser, right? This is why the price of the Bitcoin is increasing. And when we talk about Bitcoin, back in 2009, it is fighting against deflation because right now, the BTC, I mean, like the BTC accommodation is covered the whole world, right? There's a lot of people who are well known about the Bitcoin. So what is it about? Because why people choose to come into the blockchain, into the cryptocurrency? Because people tend to be losing faith towards the banking institution. Okay, why is that so? Because assuming this is the global market is everywhere. Okay, so the global market's money from 2009 has been increasing until now, which means there is a saying that the amount of money in the world will only be increasing, right? But Why is it not working the way we want? Because when the amount of money is increasing in the whole world, the people who make this is the government. How do they do this? They print money. So when you print money, what happens? There will be an inflation. And who will be the one who will be taking care of the inflations? The people. So is it fair for us to cover for the inflation when the big boys, the governments, they are the one that prints the money? So it is to conclude that the amount of money in the world will only be increasing, but the value of the money over time, it will decrease. A simple example, right now we're at 2024. 100 grand right now is different than 100 grand in 10 years' time because of the inflation. So how do we fight inflation? This is why Bitcoin is here. The total supply of Bitcoin is only limited to 21 million. That's why people buy this idea, all right? So for you to get Bitcoin, you can't print Bitcoin. You can only mine it. So it is fair and applicable to everyone. So what's next? We have the Ethereum, all right? When did Ethereum came out? Maybe it started in 2015, and then 2017. It got started preparing at 2015, and then it started to launch at 2017. So what happens to the price of Ethereum when increasing? Why? It is because this token is solving problems. So what problems did it solve? It is solving the problem of Bitcoin, okay? When we talk about Bitcoin, during 2009, it is facing difficulties whereby you are having a longer transaction time. Bitcoin blockchain only can handle like 7 transactions per second, and the transaction fee is very high. That's why you don't see people go to coffee shop spending Bitcoin to buy a coffee, because it is not feasible. But for Ethereum, what happens? It is able to handle up to 25 transactions per second, whereby it speeds up the transaction speed, the lower gas fee compared to Bitcoin, and it is faster. All right. So what makes it boom is not because part of it is because of the blockchain. The secondary reason is because of the smart contract, and due to the ICO. So in case some of you do not know what is ICO, it means it is called the initial coin offering. Okay. So for initial coin offering, we're looking at projects everywhere. So these type of projects, they will show you the white paper. If you think that the white paper is legit, if you think that this project is good, you're able to fund it using the Ethereum. So what happens then? We have different projects everywhere, but the amount or the chances of that particular project to be successful, maybe out of 10, there's only one, maybe like 10%. Because why? Because some of the people, they took the money and they built the project properly. But there are also some of the people, they took the money and they rug pull. So this happens in 2017. That's why Ethereum goes too big. What's next? What's after Ethereum? We have the BNB. All right. So BNB, when it just started, it is only at a price of 0.5 USD. Okay, I myself, I witnessed BNB started from this price. It is very low. So what did it do? It is only used to save the gas fee or to save up some transaction fee. So, but what right now, what is the price of the BNB? It's like 570. Okay, so a huge growth, almost like, it's like how many growth is that? It's like 1000x. Why is that so? It's because when you have BNB, the utility of this token, you are able to proceed to the launch pool, whereby you are able to participate into projects, all right, by staking, and they are now a very huge ecosystem. Okay, you're also able to get some airdrops. So this is why these tokens are able to hit big. All right, so let me move it a little bit down. Okay, all right, so what's next over here? What I'd like to introduce is, next one will be M3. When M3, where we have the MCD token. Okay, so what is M3? What is M3? M3 is a DAO. Okay, when we talk about a DAO, it's known as the decentralized autonomous organization. So a DAO is different compared to a traditional corporate practice, okay? When we refer to traditional corporate practice, we always have someone bossing you around. There's a boss to decide the direction of the company. But in a DAO, there's no boss, or everyone is the boss. So this works differently because the efficiency tends to be better over here. And in a DAO, we don't work in a station. Each of us may be coming from different part of the world. Like in the Zoom, some of you are from Hungary, some of you are from Norway, some of you are from Singapore, different part of the world, because we work remotely, but we share the same vision. We share the same vision. That's why when we work remotely, we are building the community as well. So in M3 DAO, we have a voting rights. Okay, each of the community have the voting rights to decide the direction and the goals. All right. So over here, I would like to show you an illustration. Okay. So for traditional business, let me talk about this. Traditional. For a business to be successful, let's say I run a bar, because sometimes I tend to drink. A bar business, all right? So for a bar business to start operating, we need who? We need the boss, right? Okay, we need a boss to start the business, and we need someone, the staff, to work for the business. We need business partners to bring in resource for the business. And we also need the customers. If there's no customers, do you think the business will be successful? No. But over here, there is an issue in the traditional world whereby when this business tend to be successful, let's say it got listed, maybe we're not talking about bar business, maybe we're talking about Facebook or whatever. These big boys, when they get listed, what happens? Who earned the most money? The founder, the bosses earn the most money. But have you ever thought about this? What about a business partner? What about the customers? What about the staff? Did they put in effort to build this business? Yes, they did. But do they get the fair share of their effort? Apparently not. So what happens next? Maybe we have some staff leaving or resigning. And when they resign, he will create a competition or open a new bar opposite. So there are a lot of blockage in the traditional world. But what if we run it in a DAO with tokenomics? Okay, for some of you who are a business owner, I'd like to share this insight to you guys. Okay, we do not need to be worried about our staff leaving early, coming in late. We do not need to worry about our business partner, betraying us. But over here, same concept. We have the bar business, but in blockchain, we convert everyone to become the shareholder. Over here, we have the staff as well. We have the customer as well. And we have the business partner. So how does it work? We can say with the bar business, it's 100% in the share, right? Maybe we'll take out like 40%. We'll tokenize. And 60% will be normal share. So sums up 100%. This is just an illustration. So what do we do? 40% of this share, since it's tokenized, what happens? When traditional business come on board to the Web3, they invite opportunity to do business all around the world, globally, borderless, right? So 40% of this share tokenized, we distribute it to the key people who brings in the effort to build the business. For example, let's say for the staff, for every effort that this staff put in or acknowledge, we will reward them with a token. All right. For example, for this business partner, for every resources that he bring into the business, he is rewarded a token. Similarly, for this customer, if he is to spend like, let's say 100 or 500, he will be rewarded a token. Maybe this will sound familiar. Maybe this sounds familiar to you, because some people, when you realize token, it is the same concept as point system. but the underlying technology is different because token is all in the blockchain. But point system, when you're referring to point, let's say when you spend in different merchant, they will give you a points, right? These type of points are all centralized. When it's centralized, they can just key in any number, they can just print it. There are no limitation to it. So where is the value? There's no value. But when we talk about token, these tokens are worth a sum of money. And when can you get it? When this token is listed into exchange, each of this key person, they can just sell it. Okay. Similarly, when you are holding a Bitcoin, when you're a Bitcoin holder, are you going to be spreading negative news about Bitcoin? I believe not. Why? When you do that, what happens? People tend to lose faith towards that token. And when they lose faith, you're going to dump the token, right? So what is it for you? You got nothing because the price of your token is getting lower and lower. So similarly, for these people in the business circle, when they have the token, they're going to build it as well. They're going to spread it. And the largest impact will be on the customers, because when I get to choose to drink at two places, the first places, option A, is a traditional bar. When I drink there, what I do? Maybe I get drunk, I meet new people, I enjoy my time. But when I drink at this new concept bar, when I drink, similarly, I get the same outcome, but I'm able to earn tokens. What happens? You're earning money while drinking at the same time. So what happened will be you're going to invite more people to come over, right? When more friends coming over, they also earn the same thing. And what happens? The business of the bar will become better and better. And when the business of the bar become better, the share of the bar will increase and the token will increase. More and more holders will come in. So this is why DAO is a huge effect in the traditional market. It's going to impact the whole market. But everyone need to share the right concept, okay? So this is the beauty between the tokenomics of DAO and blockchain. So what I'm going to share over here, M3 is a DAO. So we have a lot of key people over here. So one of them is Emmanuel. Okay, Emmanuel is the CEO of Utopia. So for the CEO of Utopia, he has more than 70,000 brands. We talk about IPs. So he is also part of the M3 DAO. And what do? He has, when we talk about IPs, we're referring to big IPs like Lamborghini, Ferrari, Nike, Adidas. There's a lot of it, 70,000. I can't list everything. FIFA, I mean, like for those who love football, these are the Web2s. There includes of some Web3 IPs, which BAYC, Azuki, Doodles, right? They have the authorization to use these IPs, all right, for branding purposes. So Emmanuel and Utopia is part of the M3 DAO. That's why we have our avatar listed over here. Besides the M3 DAO, who do we have? We have GC from the investment DAO. So he's the one working VC as a service. Okay, we call it VC as a service, whereby he can bring us to put it on the same cap table as the VC. I'll be going through this later on, okay? So we have a lot of talented people in the M3 DAO. So M3 DAO consists of three major components. The first one, the MarsVerse. Okay, MarsVerse invites community. So why the community want to join in to the MarsVerse? Because we are solving a problem between the ID and the DID. All right. So we all know that sometimes when we log into Zoom or Facebook or Google, sometimes we tend to forget our password. So what's next? We're going to hit forget password. We're going to reset. Why is that so? Because each of our ID is centralized. All right. And what happens when it is centralized? There is a risk that your data is hacked or being exploited for other purposes. But when it's DID, everything is stored in decentralized blockchain. Okay, is it easy to hack into a blockchain? It's tough unless you have more than 51% control, then you're able to hack into the blockchain. So it's near impossible for you to hack into the Bitcoin blockchain. All right. So we are creating a solution to the real world. In fact, countries like China right now, they are able to pay using their palm. Okay. And this is what's going to impact the next trend in the Web3. So we are solving a problem over here. So how do we invite people to get on board onto a community? By purchasing an avatar. All right, over here, each of these avatar will generate 0.5 to 2% daily. All right, daily 0.5 to 2%. Okay, this avatar is going to generate. And daily 0.5 to 2%, this will be distributed into 3 components. 50% will be the MM, 30% will be the UME, and 20% will be the MC. So this is MM. You can use it to buy avatar. You can use it to convert into USDT, or you can use it to buy UME, or even you can use it to transfer to your community. All right. So what is it about UME? When you have UME, you're able to get more MCD token. All right. This MCD token is going to be very, very, very valuable. I'm going to explain this later on. And for MC, you're able to use it to spend as points. Okay. So over here, we aim to build 1 million DID. Is it tough to build 1 million DID? The global population is 8 billion. So 1 million DID is just a baby steps, right? So what is M3DAO doing with this community? We are writing it on the Mars chain. So why Mars chain? There are so many chains outside. Why is it Mars chain? Because we have a strong community. All right. There is a very common trend right now whereby in the Web3 era, a good Web3 projects, sometimes their community numbers, the amount of people in the community is only about 1,000 to 3,000, a very good one. But this is why the Web3 projects like this, because they face difficulty educating people from the Web2. But in the Web2, like people like us, we are trying to learn. So some of the good community tend to meet, some of the good community, they don't tend to get into good projects. But over here in M3DAO, we get the best of both worlds. We connect the community, we connect good projects to come into collaboration. All right. So in Mars chain, we are running on top of the layer 2, and it is on the Ethereum chain. Okay, this is going to launch in August, and stay tuned for the announcement. And in Mars chain, we are deploying the DID as well. So what you're going to do with the MCD? All right. So over here, I'm going to draw a graph. All right. Okay, I'm going to draw a graph. So when MCD started, okay, the number of token you're able to get, this is the first phase, is the most. Okay, this is the number of people. So as time goes by, the number of people will be, let's say, for example, right now we are at 70K. Okay, the first phase is going to happen in 60 days time. All right, so it's going to be 8 of August, 7 to 8 of August. That is when the first phase is going to end. So, but right now we are already at 70,000. All right, so what happens in the first phase? After the first phase, MCD token has a total of 2.1 million in distribution. So in the first phase, 20% of the token is distributed. So 20% is 420,000 distributed among the people. So when we have only 70,000, the amount of UME converted is more, right? You get more tokens in the first phase, right? But in the second phase, 30% of the token is distributed, which means 30% multiplied 2.1 million is 630,000, right? But you see over here, the amount of token you're getting is lesser. And in the third phase, it's also 30%, 630,000. And in the fourth phase, 10%, 210,000. Okay, so as time goes by, the number of community getting on board onto MarsVerse is increasing. When that happens, the amount of MCD distributed among the community is lesser. Is that the bad news? In fact, it's not. But over here, what we can see is the first phase is the very good phase whereby you can earn the most MCD. So why is it not the bad news when you come to the end? I don't get much MCD, but do you know, when we come back to economics 101, we talk about supply and demand. When the supply is only limited to 2.1 million, we have demand, so many people, so many, a wallet address holding onto MCD. Do you think the MCD is going to increase? A simple mathematic, okay? We aim to build 1 million DID. 90% of the MCD is in the hands of the community. All right, 90%. So 90%, how many tokens are there? 1.89 million of token is there. So how much tokens will there be holding by each person? When we take 1.89 million divide by 1 million DID, we are looking at 1.89. Okay, we're looking at 1.89 units of token. This is just a speculation. Are you going to sell your 1.89 token for $10? How about $100? Maybe 1,000? Maybe 10,000. I believe quite a fair amount we sell at this 10,000 because you only have a very limited amount of token, right? Maybe you're going to sell half of it. But look at this design of the tokenomics. We have 90% of the token is in the hand of the community, and only 10% is with the DAO. What do they use for this 10%? To build liquidity, to do project collaboration, right? To do it for the expenses of the DAO, to set the tokenomics. And after each phase, there's only two scenarios. Just now I mentioned there's 4 different phases, right? The first phase happens in 60 days time. The second phase, 90 days. The third phase, 90 days. The last phase is 30 days. So when we do a calculation, 30 is 60 plus 90 plus 90 plus 30. What is the longest time required for the token to be listed on the exchange? It is a total like 270 days, which is 9 months. So will the token be listed in the second phase? Possible, because after each phase, there'll be 2 scenarios. The first scenario, the community vote to list the token. The second scenario, whereby the community decide to carry on to the next phase. Okay, but MCD is definitely going to worth a lot of money. So stay tuned and mine your MCD before it's too late. There's already 6 projects queuing on the line, right? So I'm not going to go through them, but all of these projects, I'm going to give you guys some insights. All of these projects, okay, when you hold MCD, you're able to get free airdrops for projects coming up in the future. So these projects are invested by very renowned VC. We are on the same cap table with Binance, OKX, Dragonfly. These are the VCs, all right? They are very renowned VC. So we are at the same cap table. And when you hold MCD, you are able to get airdrops from these type of projects. Because these projects like this, we only have a very little ticket allocation. Okay, so this is very important to get more MCD. All right, so I need to go to a new page. Okay, so next we talk about the avatar. The avatar has 0.5 to 2%, right? So how is this profit generated? How is it generated? It is generated by Mars protocol. Okay, so what is Mars protocol? It is operated by the investment DAO. Okay, we have people like GC over here. So in Mars protocol, they provide service like Mars Lab. So Mars Lab gives service like branding. It gives service like designing of tokenomics. It gives you service for tech. Gives you service for listing, it gives you service for connection. So who will need this type of services? Everyone. Those who are in the Web 2, they need this service. Because for you to get on board onto the Web 3, do you know how to design tokenomics? Do you know how to write a white paper? But if you're interested to launch a token for your business, because any Web3, we're referring to borderless business, huge potential, Mars Lab will be able to provide. Okay, so how does this work? It's going to be a win-win situation. For example, let's say this particular business is scalable, all right? Then maybe instead of you paying like 500 grand to 1 million in to get this service, you get on board into the MarsVerse, get on board to the community, approach MarsLab. Maybe we'll do a share swap. For example, we inject this series of service in exchange for maybe 20% of the share, and we build the business together. So this is how they're going to build it. And when this business grow, the profit will be generated and filled in to the community of M3DAO. So this is part of it. The other part of it is through the MarsVenture. All right, MarsVenture. So sometimes in Binance, I believe everyone have Binance, right? When we open Binance, what happens? What do we see? We see a lot of token. When we look at new tokens, we are looking at maybe X2, X5, or X10. The new tokens increase crazily. But do you know, I mean, do you have the chance to enter at the right entry point? I believe most of us will miss it. But when you have the right connection, when you have the right connection over here, when you're with the VC, you're able to get pricing of the launch pad, okay? Which means that it is before the listing price. So this is a very good benefit over here. For example, Utopia. As I mentioned, Utopia has a co-branded avatar working with M3. So what we get is we got a ticket allocation whereby only the community of the M3DAO is able to get the price at 0.065 per Ucoin. Only the community of the M3DAO is able to get this exclusive pricing. And what is the price of the listing for Ucoin? Listing price of Ucoin. The listing price of Ucoin is 0.08 USDT. Easily 20% difference. Straight away, 20% profits for the community. So who is there to get this opportunity? GC. He's from the investment DAO. So what do he offer over here? He offer a service called VC AAS. We call it VC as a service. How is he going to use the money over here? Okay. How does it works? How does thing works? Over here, we have two investment. Okay. We have the MarsVerse, whereby we get our avatar, which are generating 0.5 to 2%. At the same time, we are able to participate in seed rounds with the VC. Okay, so some of the money over here will be going to the seed rounds. When this happens, for example, GC approach of good projects because he's in this space for quite some years, right? So over the time, he is able to get to know new projects, but these projects, they will not be open to public. Okay, projects like this, they have, when it started, it will start with, let's say, an angel round, and then after the angel round, it'll be going to the private round, and then the seed round. Sorry, after angel round, you go into the seed round, and then the private round, and the series, which is the ABC series, and then only it will be available at the public. Okay, so these are the projects and the rounds offered, but we are entering at the seed rounds. Okay, so why do they invite us? I mean, like, why are we able to come in as the same cap with other VCs? The first and foremost important factor is we have the community. All right. So one thing I need to make it clear, in M3DAO, the amount of investment and the money putting in to buy the avatar, part of it is used to participate in the seed round. Okay. There is a way to generate the income to fill in for the community. All right. But some other platforms, all right, some other platforms, what they do is when the inlet of the money is lesser than the outlet, So what happens? They can't pay out for the platform, and then they will collapse. But in M3DAO, it doesn't work this way. Okay, in M3DAO, we are able to participate in projects, good projects in the seed rounds because we have the community. And for example, when we have community, let's say we are talking about 10,000 community. Each of this community buys, let's say 100 avatar, 100 USD avatar. How much is it there? Easily a 1 million USD available. And this 1 million USD, as an investor in the M3, we are able to get it at 0.5 to 2% in the short term. But people like the VC, what do? Sometimes they trade in the long term. And the risk, the time risk is bared by the investment DAO. So in return, what do we get? In return, we are able to get airdrops. We are also able to get some tickets allocation for a project like this. Okay, so let me explain on this project. This project right now is Utopia. This event is covered from 1st to 20th of July. All right. So right now we are on the 19th. Okay. Why is it so important to participate into this project? Okay, let me draw it out. Okay. So during this time, you're able to get free airdrops of avatar. So let's say over here, we have the MarsVerse avatar. When you purchase 1000 MarsVerse avatar, you are able to get a 100 Utopia avatar. For every 5000 avatar of MarsVerse, you are getting 500. For every 10,000, you are getting 2000 avatar. Okay. On top of that, you are getting an equivalent amount of Ucoin. Okay, so here you have 100 avatar of Utopia. You're also getting $100 worth of Ucoin. Similarly, here, $500 worth of Ucoin. Here, $2,000 worth of Ucoin. So this is very valuable. Let me draw an example. Let's say today, okay, I bought a 10,000 avatar. I made this purchase. I'm able to entitle for 0.5 to 2%. Okay, and for 10,000 avatar, the maximum energy output that it's going to generate is X5, which is 50,000. Okay, so this is one of the benefit, the basic benefit for purchasing an avatar. On top of that, I'm able to get 2000 Utopia. But similarly, this avatar of Utopia is producing 0.5 to 2% daily. And the maximum energy output for this avatar is X4, which is 8,000. So I will actually receive 8,000 in total over time, right? Because every day you're getting 0.52% is fluctuating, but the maximum you can get is 8,000. And you're getting a 2,000 USD in Ucoin. So the amount and the value of Ucoin you get is at the price of the launch pad, which means it's $0.065. When Ucoin is listed next month, the price will be increasing from 0.065 up to 0.08. This is the listing price. This is the listing price. I do not know how much or how far it can go, but we are getting prices below 0.08. Okay, so this is why VC is able to provide us this type of connection because of thanks to GC, because we are at the same cap table with the venture capitalists. For normal people, I mean, like for normal users in the Web3 to get this advantage, the chances is zero unless you get to know people like this. But the people in the M3 DAO, we are lucky because we have a proper and actual VC getting involved with us. All right. So basically, this is what I want to share. The Utopia avatar is very valuable. So it's on it's 19 today. Tomorrow is the last day. The closing time for this will be 23.59 Dubai time. Okay, it'll be Dubai time. So make sure to get it before the end. And to say for this event, the total allocation is only 300,000 USDT. So it's on a first come first serve. But I believe there are still some allocation available. So grab it before it's too late, guys. All right. So I end my presentation. Do you guys have any question?
Recording stopped.
Calvin, can I just quickly ask? That was a great presentation. I'm a visual person, so I really like the way you draw things out. The MCD token, what is the utility of that token? So will it be used as gas fees on the Mars chain? I can understand why the MCD token will rise in value because there's a small amount of them. But how will it hold its price and what will it be used for even after March of next year?
Okay, there are a few ways you're going to use it. I'm going to share some insights, okay? So just now I mentioned there is already 6 projects queuing up, correct? So the MCD token is the main token for the M3 DAO, all right? So when you acquire the MCD token, what's next? You're able to get airdrops. You're able to get airdrops or you're able to participate in projects, blue chip projects like the one I mentioned, okay? First of it, you're getting free airdrops. You're able to participate into this type of projects. And the third one, for MC token, let's say if we able to list the MC token after everyone agrees on each phases, right? The next thing that's going to happen is a DeFi. You're able to build the liquidity pool with your MCD. And there's one very important thing to let everyone know about this. You can't mine MCD token, okay? You are only able to buy the MCD token from miners like us, which we previously already get it. So when that happens, when they want to come in to build the liquidity pool, who do they approach? They need to buy the MCD. They need to find the community. They need to buy it from us because only we have the MCD. Or they purchase it from the exchange platform, from the decentralized exchange platform, either way. But when you have MCD, you're able to build a liquidity pool. Since we are writing it on a layer 2 chain, on Ethereum chain, we are building it, our first liquidity pool will be on Ethereum, okay? MCD plus Ethereum, you're getting something, all right? So this is some of the utility. And one of it, another one, there is a new project coming in. Oh, should I share this? Okay. It's, maybe since I said it, okay. It's something related to the metaverse, okay? So stay tuned. I mean, like if you have more time to get more MCD, get it while you still can. But I suggest the main focus right now is to get more on we call it the Utopia avatar, because tomorrow is the last day. All right. So I think that is one of the most important thing to get it. Before, I mean, like it's gonna end in like 1 day, and we do know that the price of the token is at 0.065, right? So only the community of the M3 DAO are able to enjoy this type of advantages, but others, they don't get it. So it's very important to create, I mean, like to share this out to the community to get everyone on board. Because I mean, I always receive message like, hey, why didn't you tell me earlier? Why didn't you just tell me? But I have I mean, like in conclusion, if you want me to spoon feed you to earn money, might as well not, right? Because sometimes you need to take the first action. You need to act fast before it's too late. Yeah. Any other question?
I've got another question.
Yeah,
Will
sure.
in L7, GC brought a whole load of he brought 2 IDOs with further coming to the launch pad there. Will the M3 DAO community have an option of doing IDOs as well as these kind of 6 other projects that you've spoken about?
Sorry, come again. I mean, like, I didn't hear you.
Will the M3 DAO offer IDOs like we had in L7?
Will the M3 DAO offers ideas? I mean, like, if we want to put in ideas, let's say if the community come across a group projects, they are able to, I mean, like, bring into the community. Before that, you can bring it to me, or there's a suggestion box. In fact, we have our websites ready. You can log on to m3dao.io. Let me type it in. Let me type it in the group chat. All right, m3dao.io. All right. So there are, I mean, like, another one is a MarsVerse. So things are getting on track as we speak.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions, guys? So we open for another 2 more questions. Or if, I mean, like, if there's no questions, I assume everyone is understand the whole presentation. Okay, so I think we call it a night. So it's nice to have everyone on Zoom. All right, so if there's no questions, we're gonna end the meeting. And good night to everyone, guys.